One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
Hello. Good evening. This is a very unusual time for me to go live, but I just wanted to jump on very quickly, and this is going to be pretty quick because I don't have a whole lot of time. I need to run past my office and grab a book, and then I am running to play pickleball. But I got some feedback from a live that I did where I talked about sometimes we will choose a person based on the way they look, and it's because of our own low self-esteem. So I had gotten some feedback from a couple people about that because I had shared when I was younger that yes, did I desire a fine man? I did. And I realized that it was tied to my low self-esteem. It wasn't even about him. It wasn't even about having a genuine connection with him or really liking him. It wasn't about that at all. It was about me and my low self. All right, y'all, the connection. I don't know what's going on with the connection because I'm over here in Innsbruck. But, and so, as I got older, especially after I was divorced, I have some really great friends. And of course, they challenged me. They challenged me to stop focusing on looks so much. And I was like, okay, I love a challenge. So, if you challenge me to do something, or if you tell me I can't do something, I'm probably going to try to do it because I love a challenge. And so they gave me that challenge. Like, stop focusing on looks so much. Like, try to see the person, try to see the soul and the essence of that person. Stop focusing on what they look like so much. Like, let your soul recognize their soul. Let your heart recognize their heart. And I know in 2025, in this modern day era that we live in, that is not the message that we are getting. That is not a cool message to put out. And that is definitely not what social media is telling you, right? They're telling you it's all about looks. It's all about physique. It's all about what that person has and how exciting they are and how exciting their life is. And, if I'm being honest, that's why a lot of people are in the state that they're in. Like, they're not developing themselves. They're not developing their personality. They're not developing their character. They're not developing themselves spiritually. And I had a friend of mine who's around my age, and he said, Anita, you talked about how it was like an intuition. It was like a gut instinct. It was a knowing when you met a person. And were you attracted to that person in some way physically? Yes, but it was something else. It was like something else deeper about them that attracted you to them. And I said, yeah, I talk about it all the time. And he said, well, if I could be so honest, people today, there's nothing even in them. Like, there's nothing in them besides what you see. Like, there's nothing deeper to be attracted to. They don't have a life. They don't have any hobbies or interests. They're not passionate about anything. They sit around watching shows or, scrolling, doom scrolling. He's like, that's why you're not having these experiences anymore. That's why you're not feeling those soul connections, those heart connections. You're not feeling anything from a person because there's nothing there. And I was like, ooh, God, please don't let that be true. Please don't let that be true. Please tell me that's not where we're headed. But he was like, yeah, I think that's what's happening. Like, where you could meet people, and I've met people, male and female, where this happened, where I knew that person was one of my many soulmates. That person was a person that I was going to cross paths with in this life. And we were going to have some sort of relationship. It may not have been a forever relationship, but we were going to have a relationship. We were going to teach each other things. And then, we may go on. That's happened to me many, many, many times, where I've met a man, I've met a woman, and we had a relationship or a friendship or a partnership. We were colleagues. We were traveled, whatever it was. It was romantic, whatever it was. We came into each other's life. There was a soul connection. There was a spirit connection there. There was a reason why I met that person. We taught each other the lessons, and then we were gone. We went on. We went on to the rest of our lives. And some of those people I still know, right? I've met them and still know them. And some of those people, that time is over, right? I want you to remember that, we're not meant, and this is hard for some people to accept, but we're not meant to stay with the same people from birth till death. Like, relationships end, okay? Relationships end. People die. We outgrow people, or they outgrow us. They move away, or however it happens. We're not meant to be in relationship from birth till death with everybody. And especially if you're growing, especially if you're a person that is constantly seeking to be better and to grow. Because a lot of people out here, if I can be honest, they're not. They're not trying to grow. They're not trying to be better. They're not trying to develop themselves or do something really big in the world. That is 95% of people. But if you're in that 5% of people where you want something, you have a big dream, or you just want to constantly be your best self, like, you're going to outgrow 95% of people. That's the truth. So that was kind of a wake up call to me when he said that, because I was like, yeah, it's like I don't cross paths with people anymore where I feel that soulmate connection, or I feel that heartmate connection, or I feel that spirit connection. He's like, man, because it ain't nothing in them. What you see is what you get. He's like, whatever's on the outside of them, that's it. It's like they're a shell. They're a shell of themselves. There's nothing deeper there. And I'm like, wow, that kind of blew my mind. And then, of course, it made me like, dang, am I never going to experience this again? Y'all, it's getting dark. So that's why I said I can't be in here too long, because it's getting dark out here and I got to run into my office. But I'm saying all that to say, that's why it's so important that we develop ourselves. We have to go deeper. We have to develop ourselves. We have to be willing to grow. We have to be willing to see beyond what we see with our eyes, right? I had a friend of mine who kind of teased me. He teased me about the last guy I dated long term. And he was like, oh, he's not that attractive. Or he would say, oh, I don't know what you saw in him. Okay, number one, it's not for you to know. Okay? It's not for you to know what I saw in him, because it was something I saw in him. Okay, number two, you're being real shallow right now, because you're making it all about how he looks, or he's got to look a certain way, or whatever. Like, you're making it about all this other stuff. And I'm like, you don't know the connection I had with that person. You don't know the lessons that person came into my life to teach me. You don't know the spiritual connection I had with that person. Again, you're going off of this surface, shallow, oh, y'all don't look like y'all fit. Y'all are not looks compatible, right? And that's sadly a huge thing for us in the West. Like, that's a huge thing. That's really all we care about. All we care about is looks, is what a person looks like and what they have. We never go any deeper, but again, we wonder why our relationships suck. I watched a podcast today that Paul Brunson was on, and he talked about 80%, and I actually believe this. I actually believe this as a couples therapist, that 80% of people's marriages and relationships are horrific. Like, they're not happy. They're not fulfilled in their relationship. And I'm like, okay, but if that's what you're using to pick the person, I see why that is. If I was choosing my relationship solely based on what I see with my eyes, solely based on what they look like, how tall they are, how big their behind is, or how big their chest is, or how big their wallet is or what they have. Yeah, those things cannot create a long-term, happy, fulfilling relationship. And I'm going to continue to say that. I'm going to continue to be a voice here on social media that says, stop making it all about what a person looks like. You're going to be disappointed in a year, 2 years, 5 years. Because either there's nothing there, like my friend said, there is nothing else there other than what this person looks like. That's it. That's it. So, and the way they look is you're eventually going to get used to it. And I've talked about this. All the fine men that I've dated, yeah, the first 6 months, 9 months, a year, it was like heaven on earth. Because again, I had the low self-esteem. They made me feel good about myself. They made my brand look good, right? I'm sitting here, going out with this guy that other women want, a lot of other women want. That's making my ego feel great. But yet, a year in, this is what I noticed every time. A year into these relationships, I will wake up next to them and be like, there you are. Oh, okay. Like, I kid you not. I was like, mm-hmm. And if it was past a year and a woman, I caught her looking at my man, or she said, oh, you got a good looking man, or blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, oh, thank you. Like, okay. It had completely worn off. It had completely become normalized to me. Yeah, he fine. Yeah, he got a six pack. He got broad shoulders and all the things. Okay. like literally, that's what it was like. And then we had to develop something deeper. We had to go deeper. And if we couldn't go deeper, it's unlikely that those relationships would have lasted forever. They didn't. Can I be honest with you? They didn't. Okay. One of them lasted 2 years. The other one lasted, about 2 years. About 2 years? 2.5 years? Yeah, they didn't last forever. Because like I said, once a person's looks or their money or the car they drive or the house they live in, once you get used to that, once you normalize that, what else is there? What else is there that's deeper, right? What else is there about that person? What other connection do you have with that person? Emotional, spiritual, right? Soul connection, heart. If you don't have that, that person is like every other good looking person. Like, oh, okay, there you go. So we have to develop ourselves, and then we have to look for other people who are developed. There has to be something deeper, right? There's got to be something deeper. What is it about this person that I truly admire other than what they look like? I admire men who are kind. I admire men who are creative. I admire men who are competent. I admire men who are ambitious. I admire men who are funny and kind of goofy, right? I admire men who have a servant's heart and they want to do things for me and they want to see me happy. I really love that. I love, I'm very much the intellectual. So I love talking about intellectual things. I admire men who are well read and, know a lot about a little, a little about a whole lot. But we have to go deeper. It's like all these temporary relationships and situationships and friends with benefits and this dating. Y'all date like it's a sport. Some of y'all have a gold medal in dating because there's no intention. It's not going anywhere. It's honest to goodness. I've asked some of the people I know that date like this, like, what is the point? Like, where is this going? What are you after? What is the point of this? But they're dating like, they're in the Olympics and they have like 5 or 6 people on a roster and they're, keeping up with all these people on the dating app. And then they got all these men from their past and all in the present texting them or calling them I'm like, what is the point? Where is this all going? Like, seriously? I have two businesses to run. Can I be really honest? I have two businesses to run. I'm trying to build an empire to pass on to my children and their children. I cannot date. I cannot date like it's my second job. Do I want to find my person? I most certainly do. And I want to have a soul connection with them. I want to have some sort of heart connection with them. My heart should say, it's something about this person. You should check this person out. You should go deeper with this person. You should ask questions of this person. You should, that's how it works for me. You should dive a little deeper into this person. There's something about this person. And it's not just about what they look like. It's not just about what they have. Because like I said, research has proven that that's going to become normalized. It's just like when I bought my house. When I first bought my house 9 years ago, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, look at what I bought. Look at what I have achieved. I thought, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. Even my dad was impressed. I was like, okay, yeah, this is mine. Here we are 9 years later. I pull up in the driveway, and every now and again, I do pause and say, please maintain appreciation for what you've done. Please truly appreciate this beautiful home, because to someone else, it's their dream come true. I know you've lived here for 9 years, but really soak in how appreciative you are of having this home. But on most days, I pull into the driveway. I barely look at the outside. I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm home. I did a renovation on the second floor, and that brought a little oomph. That brought a little novelty back. But outside of that, okay, again, it is normalized to me. I now got to go up to 5,000 or 6,000 square feet for me to feel like I'm doing something, or have a pool in the back, or have more land, because I'm used to this. I've been in this for 9 years. So yeah, that has been proven. If you choose someone based on looks only, based on money or what they have, it will eventually become normalized. And if there's nothing else there, then what? What else are you going to do? And I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go, well, I do say what I thought. Oh, this person is not my person. I'm in the wrong relationship. I need to get out of it and find someone else. And then you're going to keep doing that 10 other times. But try to look for something deeper. Please look for something deeper other than looks. And so, again, this is what I shared in the other live. A lot of us are choosing based on our self-esteem. We're choosing people that make us feel good about ourselves, that make us look good. It is not about a soul connection. It is not about a deeper spiritual connection, or a deeper knowing, or a gut instinct, or an intuition about something about this person. Can't put my finger on it, right? We're not choosing because of that. We're choosing out of our low self-esteem. We're choosing because we want other people to be like, ooh, girl, ooh, oh man, she bad, man. Oh, that's what you're doing. You're not choosing from love. You're not choosing from a genuine connection. You choosing out of your low self-esteem. So I would like to say that the last two men I dated seriously, there was a connection. There was an intention, and there was a instinct, a knowing of, okay, this person has something to teach me. There's a lesson I need to know here. And I feel drawn to this person for reasons other than what they look like. And if anything, that taught me that my self-esteem is in a better place. Like, I can go out with this person on my arm, and I don't care what people think. That's called so what? I don't care what y'all think. And that's what I told this friend of mine. I said, it's not for you to understand. What are you talking about? Well, I just don't understand. I just don't get it. And you are out of his league and blah, blah, blah. I said, again, you don't know him. Okay. You don't know him on a deep level. You don't know him on an emotional level or a spiritual level. There was definitely something about him. And I say that to this day. Like, there is a connection there. There will always be a connection there that says, yes, this person came into my life to teach me some of the best lessons I've ever learned in my whole life. And I am forever grateful for that. He's not my person. He's not my forever person. He's not my husband. But he was a person that, in my opinion, God used him to teach me something incredibly important, something that I needed to know. And so I will forever be grateful for that. Just like the first man I dated after my divorce. He was a great guy. And God was like, see, if you choose well, if you choose someone that got their head on straight, if you choose kindness, if you choose this, you can be with a great guy. And I was like, you're right. There are a lot of great guys out here. Because I was thinking, yeah, these men are crazy. All these men are crazy. And then that man came into my life. He was not my typical type, but he taught me, stop looking for this type. Stop looking on the outside. Go deeper. Go deeper inside of a person and see if they have other attributes that could lead to your relational satisfaction. But if I'm being honest, sometimes I think y'all don't want good relationships. Sometimes I think y'all don't want relational satisfaction. I have some clients right now that are finally in healthy relationships, and all they do is come in week after week talking about how boring it is. He's so boring. I don't know. I don't feel no spark. Here we go. And you need to look at yourself. That's a you issue. I'm used to drama. I'm used to the toxic chaos. You need to look at yourself, because the other person is a great person. The other person is showing up for you. The other person is kind. The other person is doing their best to meet the needs you have. But guess what need they ain't gonna meet? Is the toxic chaos. They're not willing to do that. I'm not willing to fight every week. I'm not willing to argue. I'm not willing to cheat. I'm not willing to lie. Like, if that's what you need in a relationship, yeah, I'm not willing to do that. But that's when you got to look at you. It's you. It's you that, can't be in a healthy relationship. That's what's going on. So that's it. We have to look deeper. It's a Western problem. Nowhere else in the other parts of the world is it all about what a person looks like or has. Like, they actually, their standards of beauty are different, and, they're just different. But in some regards, this is why I hate it here. This is why I don't want to be here, and I hate it here. I'm probably not going anywhere, but I absolutely hate it here, because we make it all about all the things that don't matter. We make it about a man's height. That don't say anything about the type of husband he will be, or the type of father he will be, or if he will be there for you throughout a horrible diagnosis. But, he got to be 6'3". Okay. We make it about eye color. We make it about skin color, the colorism. We make it about how much money they have, where they live, who their friends are, how they dress, all these things that do not matter. Those things do not determine long-term relational success or long-term relational satisfaction. So that's all I got to say. It's irritating me now. But like I said, I can admit my part in it, which is being young and dumb and not knowing no better. And having low self-esteem, that's primarily what I'm picking, based on looks, based on body, based on the car they drive and all that other dumb stuff. But once I realized, wow, this person isn't a good person. Wow, this person, there's nothing deeper here. Like, then I was like, okay, it's not all about that. Like, I challenge you. If you're on a dating app, I want you to swipe on someone that is not your normal type. Ladies, I want you to swipe on someone that's 5'8". Gentlemen, I want you to swipe on someone that if you like them light, pick someone dark. If you like them dark, pick someone light. I want you to swipe on someone totally different than what you would normally say is your type. If you like them slim, swipe on someone thick. Okay? But go in the opposite direction and let's see what happens. Like let's just do an experiment. Okay? Let's just do an experiment. Do the opposite of what you would normally do and see what happens. All right? That's the brief lesson for today. I got to go. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. School is open. And if I can be so honest, I'm very much behind in my posting. I have a couple of ads that I'm waiting to get back from the folks who create my ads. So I'm waiting to get those ads back. And then I'll start running some advertising on Instagram and Facebook because I really need to do better. But my school is open. It's Single Seeking Soulmate. And these are some of the topics that we are going to discuss there. We're going to discuss what we actually need to look for if we want long-term relationship satisfaction. But we're also going to work on ourselves, and then we'll work on our relationships with others. But it's open, and the link is in my bio, and I thank you all for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up because I'm trying to get back into the algorithm. The algorithm's acting really weird. But thank you. I appreciate you all rocking with me, and I hope you have a great night. And as